New book releases are always exciting and very much enticing, but with so much out there, we have to be a little bit selective to minimize the chances of getting stuck with a not so great book. So in today's video, I want to show you my curated list of books that I'm interested in reading throughout the second half of 2022. These picks might give you some inspiration to pick up a new book or discover a new author that is completely new to you. So let's go over the titles and the release dates. For some reason, this is the most out of my comfort zone book that I have in my list because I normally don't read poetry, but when I read the title and the summary of The Way Back Home by Kearney Pepperwell, I was completely lured into the book. This is a magical world depicting how when darkness comes close to us and we start losing ourselves and our hopes, a kind of spirit comes to give us a key so we can find our way home. The simplicity of the book and the cover really sold it for me. So if you want to check this book out, this book is going to be released on August 23rd. And coming up in October 18th is The Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. I want to read this book because it is said to be an inspiration from David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. And if you have read David Copperfield, you'll know that the struggles and the hardships of the children in the Victorian England made Dickens super famous. So this book seems to be about a redhead boy that navigates all the ups and downs of life, including child labor, addiction, death, and abandonment. Not only with a lot of bravery to fight his own survival, but also with a lot of wit. This sounds very cool, so I hope this book really meets my expectations. November 8th, we have two releases, The Impossible Things by Catherine Newman and The Resemblance by Lorraine Nosset, something like that. These two books are very different from each other. In We All Want Impossible Things, we see two friends that have gone through every possible thing that you can think of in 40 years. But when one of them is dying of cancer, their life comes upside down as they try to reconcile the imperfections of their lives and the people around them. It seems to be a painful journey of finding oneself and accepting to let go. I think you can learn so much from a situation like this, so we can ground ourselves up a little bit and think of those little things that makes us happy every day. On the other hand, The Resemblance is a thriller murder mystery book involving a hit-and-run case of a university student. And the chilling part is that, according to witnesses, the driver of the incident looked exactly like the dead student. But in the process of the investigation, a lot of secrets regarding the detective handling the case and the university as well start unlocking the key to resolving the case and others. University killings and cults have always fascinated me, and I think this book goes along those lines pretty well. Equally important and long awaited on my list are Heart of the Sun Warrior by Sully Tan and They Are Going to Love You by Meg Howry, both to be released on November 15th. The Heart is a part 2 of The Daughter of the Moon Goddess, a young girl that has to escape to save her life. She ends up in the Celestial Tribe and disguises herself as a maid, but later becomes part of the army, falls in love with the prince and the general, but betrayed at some point by both. And part 2 is supposed to give us closure, to let us know what power Xing Yin is going to master, how the bad guys are going to end up, and if love is going to prevail. Is she going to end up with the prince, or is she going to reconcile with the prince of the dark tribe? Let's see what happens. And They're Going to Love You is a book set in a world of ballerinas in New York City. But it is not very clear to me what the plot is about. The protagonist here seems to follow the steps of her mother, a former ballerina, but also she battles the desire to be with her father, who is in a homosexual relationship with a man that she deeply cares about and see also as a paternal figure. But something happens in the story with the father relationship, something related to a love affair or AIDS, and the whole family shatters. I want to say that this is a gripping story, but we have to wait and see what the role of the parents are and also the community and what will be the consequences in these relationships, what really happened. So let's see what happens. And lastly, on December 6th, we have No One Left Come Looking For You by Sam Lipsyte. This seems to be another cool story set in New York City in the 90s music scene about an underground musician that opens up the book with his struggle to recover his stolen instrument and sees himself in the middle of a murder, a crazy girlfriend, and a potential great offer to make it big in the music scene. The story screams, to me at least, punk, bars, and a lot of stupid decisions. So if you have been to New York City, I think this book can make a lot of sense and also a lot of fun. I hope this list has given you inspiration to look into some of these books or expand your readings if you have any of these books from these authors. I hope you found some value in this video, and if you enjoyed it, give it a like, share it, and until our next video, bye-bye.